Failure leads you to opportunity, and you can't understand success until you understand failure. What gets people to the top? Is it hard work, luck, education, or a combination? Let's find out. Join me on this journey as we meet with some of the most successful entrepreneurs and leaders to unlock their secrets to success. It's high-level access, and I can't wait to share it with you.
And time will tell. I'm filling up high like a wishing well. I got big dreams to take over the world. I got big dreams to take over the world. I got big dreams to take over the world. I got big dreams to take over the world.
Magic Johnson, the great one from Michigan State. One of this exciting alley-oop pass from Johnson to Kelson. It was their favorite play, as Johnson explained. Kelson was the key.
It's more or less any shots that he was going to take were going to have to be contested. We couldn't let him have open shots. That no team in the country can handle Michigan State.
Was running out, and Indiana State was having trouble at the free throw line. With only a minute left, Urban Johnson's inbound pass traveled almost the length of the court, right on target to Greg Kelser. Another beautiful play. Johnson and Kelser, partners in destruction.
I had a lot of support. I had a lot of people who, for whatever reason, were interested in my being successful, from my coaches, my teachers, my professors, obviously my parents, and just neighbors. Everybody seemed to have an active role. My village was large, it was vast, and so I understand how important it is to have support. I understand how important it is to give back, because I benefited from that. I'm still benefiting from that, and it's an important thing that's always been a part of my fabric.
Being that your father was a military man, was there anything that he taught you specifically that kind of led you to be committed to a sport or to be disciplined in order to go after your dreams?
You just said it, discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad was a good guy. He was a fun guy. He was a witty guy, but he was big on discipline. And you know, by virtue of being in the military, I learned an appreciation for authority and people that are in a position of leadership. And you give them that, and they're there for a reason. They're there because they've earned that spot, and you have to listen to them. So, you know, that was helpful because I was able to work well with my teachers. I always had a healthy respect for other adults. It certainly helped with my coaches. I never had problems with coaches because I understood they're the boss.
Well, my dream was to, be the best basketball player I could be. And then I wanted to be a businessman after I was done with my career. And so now I'm proud to say I'm doing that. I'm into my second life, which is...
Thriving.
Well, thank you. I'm just been blessed, and I've always wanted to be in business. And a few people doubted me that I could go from the basketball court to the boardroom, and I was happy to prove them wrong. And so I love what I do in urban America and across every city. And then I love the fact that, I never thought I would be a baseball owner. And the Dodgers came up for sale, and that I could join Guggenheim Partners and buy the Dodgers. And so now the LA Sparks. So things are just happening for me, and I'm just happy that I could follow my dreams. And that goes to all kids out there. You can dream. Just because you grow up poor, don't mean you have to have poor dreams. And so go after your dreams. Educate yourself, and then through education, you can become anything you want in life.
The way I played the game was the way I was taught to play the game. I tried to play hard. I tried to play fair. I didn't want to play dirty, but I played rough. My goal was always to come out the winner. You can talk about winning, but in college and high school and the pros, you got to go out and win. No matter if you're hurt, no matter if you don't have the talent on your team, you still strive to be the best. But my game was to continue to try to put pressure on the people who will guard me. I was probably one of the most confident players ever. I'm not going to say I'm the best player, but I was confident in myself and my abilities. There's no question at the end of the games I wanted the ball in my hands because I know I've taken them shots thousands and thousands of times. Not that I didn't have confidence in my teammates, but I had so much confidence in myself. And not all of them went in, but a lot of them did go in. And it didn't matter to me if I got all the accolades. I just want to win the game.
I always just believed that I was going to be a professional basketball player. And in the 10 years between deciding that and it actually happening, I can't tell you how many naysayers I heard, because I was a lean kid, skinny kid, and I used to hear all the time, you're not big enough to play professional basketball. You're not strong enough. That's not going to happen. You better choose something else. But I heard all that, but I never listened to it. It never, ever, ever took me off my pace or my goal or my prize.
When Irvin Johnson banked this one in.
I love playing the game of basketball. I do. Just like us talking about it now, I love this. It's just, I love, going out there, putting those sneakers on and performing and playing to the best of my ability. And I hope I brought that every single night. The joy, the passion. Also, I was just intense. I was moody, I was cranky, because the only thing I wanted to do was win and get out there and do it for my teammates and the fans. So I'm a passionate person. That's who I am, not just on the court, but in life. And so with that being said, you're going to get all of Irvin Johnson. You're going to get 150% of him. And I just brought that to the court every single night, and it paid off.
At a young age, my high school coach, he wasn't my high school coach then, but I was in the 6th grade, and he was talking to us one day, and he always said, you surround yourself with good people, good things are going to happen. And that's what I done. I had good players around me when I played, great teammates. When I was coaching, I had Rick Carlisle and Dick Harder, who were the best in the league as assistant coaches, but both of them could have been head coaches. Then when I got in the front office, we put together a group of guys that had success early on. So I had a lot of people around me that knew what they was doing. So I can't sit here and tell you I did it all myself. Basketball is a team game, it's not an individual game, same as coaching and same as front office. But I've been around a long time. I had success. I can't believe I'm still in the game after all these years. I never visioned this. All I try to do is, like I said earlier, is be the best player on my high school team. Never would have been able to go to college if it wasn't for basketball. I traveled the world over and over, all free because of basketball. And I'm in this position because of it. So I got a lot of experience. When I talk to my players today, or young kids, I just talk out of experience because I've been around a long time. I just tell them what worked for me and what didn't work. I know how to become a good basketball player. I can take a young kid now that's never played, is 6 years old, and by the time he's a senior in high school, he'd be one of the best players in the country. I believe I can do that for a player because I've been there. I know the highs and the lows. But the one thing I've always said is you can't judge a man's heart until you get out on that court. That's when you find out what's he got inside of him. And that's one of the experiences that I had. I played against the best. I won at a high level, and I lost at a high level. So my career has been very amazing, not only to people that read about or see it, but to me, because I never dreamed of any of this.
Did you have any fears that sidelined your hopes and aspirations?
Not one time, and that's why I say sometimes naivety, being naive, is a beautiful thing. Because if it kept, that kept me from ever thinking that it was not going to happen. Now I look back on it and I say to myself, wow, the odds are truly against it. If you think of all the athletes in the country and now the world that aspire to be an NBA player, you can see the odds are overwhelmingly stacked against it. But I was able to maintain my belief in myself and my confidence, and along the way get some superior coaching and leadership from key people, and I was able to realize that dream.
If you really have a love for something, no matter what it is, you really got to do it the right way and ask questions and try to get somebody around you that knows how to do it. Then you got to take it from there and be the lead. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what it is. I mean, what kind of work, or painter, or playing a music instrument. Just learn to do it the right way, or have somebody to help you. Then you take it from there and you can go wherever you want to go. I'm a firm believer you can make yourself into about anything you want to make yourself into. I mean, if I wasn't here and I had a piano at a young age, I think I could have taught myself to play a piano as well as anyone. I mean, that's just what I think. I think that's just confidence. And it's easy for me to sit here and tell somebody else how to do it because I have been there and I had success, but I was that little kid one time. And I never dreamed big. My goal was to play on the varsity basketball team and start on that team. But I realized through my hard work, I was a little bit better than other people thought I was going to be. And I even surprised myself because at a young age, I was told, well, you're from a small town. You don't play against anybody. That's why you're better than they are. Then when I got to college, well, you're not playing against IU, or you're not playing against Kentucky. You're playing against, mid-majors. You're not that good. The day I found out I was good, I was in rookie camp in Boston playing against veterans, and I was kicking their butt. Then I realized that I'm going to do pretty well in the pros. But I never knew until I got there.
I went to Michigan State because I wanted to play for Coach Kanakis. I didn't go to Michigan State because I wanted to go to Michigan State. I went because I wanted to play for this man. He was that impressive and that charismatic and that that powerful that I wanted to play for him. It didn't matter where he just happened to be the coach of Michigan State. So when they relieved him of his coaching duties after my freshman year, you can imagine the devastation. You can imagine the torment for an 18-year-old kid to deal with. And I wanted to leave Michigan State. All I could do now was either leave and try it someplace else, or stay and try it, make it work with the new regime. And some people are strong and demonstrative, and some people will make you hate them while building your character and building your strength in yourself, while others will do it differently. Coach Kanakis, as I mentioned earlier, did it differently. Coach Heathcote did it like a drill sergeant, and it was constant each and every day. And for the first time in my life, basketball was not necessarily fun. But I'll tell you this much about Coach Heathcote. He got me and my teammates to a level that we never could have gotten ourselves. We needed him, and we needed his way of motivation to become the champions we ultimately became. And I think the biggest compliment you can give anybody is when you're done, if you can look back on it and say, I would do it all over again, that is as good as it gets. And for me, I would do it all over again with Judd Heathcote. He was that important to my development, not just on the basketball court, but off of it as well. He truly was an extension of my parents, the leadership that I got at home. He just did it differently. He did it differently. It wasn't always fun and games, but the results, no one can argue.
Judd prepared me for the NBA. He was a perfectionist, so everything we did on the basketball court, we had to work on in practice. And he wouldn't allow us to take practice off. He actually made us work very hard in practice. So with that being said, he said, hey, Irvin, if you're going to be taking that shot from 15, 18 feet, then you should work on it in practice. So he made me work on every shot I was going to end up taking in the game. And with that being said, it helped me become a better basketball player. So it prepared me. So when we got to the games, I was successful, but then when I got to the NBA, it made me ready for the NBA and also ready for coaching from an NBA coach. So Judd, I owe a lot to. Then our style of play, running up and down. It was exciting. Jennison Fieldhouse used to rock. The roof used to come off. I mean, we would get out on a fast break, and I'd throw that lob to Gray, and he'd slam it. Man, the place would just go nuts. And so I think our style prepared me for the NBA as well, that running up and down style that we had. And so when I got to the NBA, I was already ready, mentally and physically. And I owe a lot of that to both Coach Heathcote as well as the style that we played, and my teammates also prepared me very well.
I played basketball from age 10 to age 28. But when the injuries began to mount, it became apparent to me that I wasn't going to play as long as I had anticipated. I was disappointed by that. I was disappointed eventually having to leave the league.
Failure's tough. You know, I've been there too many times. I mean, it rips into your soul. But you just continue to move forward. You never forget it, just like the final game of the NCAAs. You never forget it, but use it to improve yourself.
I'm very thankful that I was able to pick up as a broadcaster and stay somewhat attached until the point where I could sit there and watch a game and call the game, broadcast the game, describe the game to our viewers, to our listeners, and not feel like I should still be out there playing. That took a while. I would be sitting on the sideline and I would sometimes feel like, man, I shouldn't be here. I should be out there playing, because I still had that desire and that drive inside of me, and it was difficult. When I no longer felt like I should be out there, but I should be exactly where I was sitting, that's when things really started to grow for me as a broadcaster. And that was 25 years ago.
Look, it's not going to be easy. So just like my life was not easy, trust me, because I had to go to class, then I had to go to practice, then I had to go to study table. So my whole life was mapped out for me. Wasn't a lot of time for anything else. And then I had to, when it wasn't basketball season, I would work on the weekend at nights because I was a DJ at a couple of the local clubs to make some money. I DJ. Yes.
And you used to spend the
EJ to DJ, that's right. So if I can hold down jobs, you can do it too. You just have to, time management is very important. And you have to understand, okay, hey, I got to go to class, then I got to study, and then I got time to have fun. But at first, class, study, and then everything else. Or class, study, and then your job. But make sure that you don't take on too much, but make sure you can balance everything. I know it's hard, but you can do it because other people have done it before you. There's a lot of people who have put themselves through school, through college. So full-time student and working. So if they can do it, these young people out here can do it as well.
I started doing basketball camps when I was 20 years old. So I had kids in those camps that were like 15 and 16 years old. So I'm only like 4 or 5 years older. I'm in my 50s now. It's not uncommon for a 50-year-old man to come up to me and say, hey, I used to go to your basketball camp. And you said this, this, and that. And it left an impact on me. It made a difference. I love that. That's legacy.
When people told me I was crazy and going with my own gut feeling and the research and the homework that I did, having a sound business strategy was really important. And then again, executing. It's just like basketball. We had to execute on offense and defense. The same thing in business. Once you got a sound strategy, you got to execute, and then manage the deal, and we've been able to do that. And so I've been so blessed. When you think about our footprint is about 40 cities and about 40 states and about 159 cities. It's all over the country, and so we're just building. We put over 50,000 minorities to work every single day, and so I'm proud of that track record of success. But at the same time, I'm never satisfied. I still want to do more, and I will continue to do more to help the inner cities, urban America, and also, and then now I'm investing outside of that now with, of course, the teams and everything. So I will continue to grow our portfolio, but also the key is whether we can manage that, and so I make sure that we can manage the growth at the same time. I have the sustainability that I was looking for, and so we'll be around for a long time.
Well, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure having you on.
My
the show
pleasure.
today.
Thank you.
Very much. We're here today with NBA legend, Hall of Famer, and USA gold medalist Larry Bird. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can make a difference or you can make an excuse, but you can't do both. Join me next time as we continue our high-level access with our CEO profile. Visit www.derekdickow.com for updates. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Feel free to ask questions for our upcoming interviews and tag me if you have any questions or suggestions for our next profile. We may feature you in the upcoming weeks. Hope to see you soon.